welcome to EV World News, where we talk about electric vehicles, green energy, and the stock markets. I'm David Neese here with Pro Trader Mike. How's it going, Mike?
Hey, everybody. Pretty good today. Nice to be here. Nice. So what's
All
on the
right.
show for today, Dave?
Well, we got an interesting show today. We've talked before about Mullen, and we're going to talk a little more about them today. They said that they've got some interesting news. This seems to be one of the more common EV stocks that we talk about, and there's reasons because there seems to always be something going on, and it's about time, honestly, to see one of these companies do something about this. Because Mike, you've heard me harp about all the problems that on the NASDAQ with naked short sellers. That's basically where somebody is selling a short stock, but they don't have own the corresponding stock to sell if things go bad. And you or I, as a regular trader, if we are trying to do any short selling, our brokerage makes sure that we have the money set aside in case that happens. And so
And they
what
need special permission, and it's not favored, and it's not really recommended, and very few people do it. It's kind of like these big boys are allowed to put a virus in on it and just
well,
come in on and attack the company with a virus. And
it's these hedge funds doing it.
yeah.
It's really aggravating to see, what these hedge funds get away with. But anyways, so CEO David Mitchery of Mullen stated, "I'm extremely frustrated that so many of our shareholders have suffered losses that we believe are caused in large part by unlawful trading activities in our stock." And he gets blasted on social media sometimes, and for good reason. I mean, the stock is going down. If you're a stockholder, I understand why you're going to be upset with the CEO. I really can't comment whether David's a good CEO or not. All I can comment on is it would suck to be you know. So, anyways, he announced today that the company's filed a lawsuit in U.S. District Court against TD Ameritrade, Charles Schwab, and the National Finance Services and others, alleging the broker-dealers engaged in a scheme to manipulate the share price of the company's securities. They're seeking damages and injunctive relief arising from the unlawful conduct and violation of rules that the SEC follows from 1934. This is, he goes on to state, Mullen is one of the largest traded stocks on the NASDAQ, and it's seen a precipitous decline in value despite announcements highlighting many company successes. I've been extremely frustrated by the performance of our stock and long suspected illegal short selling activities. And you and I talk about this all the time. They got this big bag of cash, and the company is worth, book value is worth many, many times what the stock is what their current market cap is, what the overall value of all of their stock were to be sold in the market. There's still cash left over. And it's interesting to see this. Now,
It's like they got moved out of town in the bad part of town, and they're really not valued where they should be. So they needs to get fixed.
so they're using a law firm called Christian Attar, and let me see, Wes Christian, and it says my law firm and my co-counsel Alan Pollock from Warshaw Burstein, together with our team of experts and analysts, are committing to representing companies like Mullen who are targets of dishonest broker-dealers who employ schemes and devices to manipulate the share price of their company's security. The Mullen lawsuit involves concerted efforts by the defendants to destroy Mullen's share price by engaging in an abusive short selling scheme. It was intended to inject false and misleading information about Mullen into the market. What I typically see, Mike, is I'll see something like this going on. And so what'll happen is a hedge funds will buy into a stock like Mullen, and then when at the first sign of any kind of bad news, they'll amplify the bad news by starting this short sale trend. And by doing the short sale trend, it'll put downward pressure on the stock. And then as the stock starts going down, they'll start a class action lawsuit against the company for the stock tanking, which makes the stock tank even more. And so you commit these artificial things going on in the market that we see. Now, Mike, on Tuesday, you put out one of your newsletters, and you talked a little bit about Mullen. And let's see. So let's look
See,
at.
look at the chat overlay in the right corner. You see that, Dave? Hey, all. You have any tickers you want me to check out?
Nice,
Yeah,
nice.
let's go.
Let's see here. Anyways, what I was gonna show here, if I can find it real easy. It's always kind of a
Yeah.
challenge here in our streaming sometimes find what I'm looking for, but I'm gonna
Sign
look.
up for the
There we
daily
go.
newsletter, baby.
Here we go. Here's the swing trade newsletter. And here we've got, it shows happy Tuesday. This was from Tuesday. Two stocks for today, AXLA and Mullen. And you talk a little bit about how things were going there. You put out some news about Mullen. And this is,
Here, let
what
me share my screen so I can look at my chart and you show it so you don't have to show your inbox and stuff. Let me share my
okay,
screen.
sure.
Everyone's looking at your email. Ooh, what do you got there? See, I put out Hostess, dude. It made a new high out of all the stocks. I put out Hostess Twinkies, dude. I never do that, dude. Stock was like in the 20s, man. I never put out, and yeah, I don't put out a lot of $20 stocks, guys. I don't. So on my Sunday newsletter on August 22nd, I put out, look, for next week, Hostess, dude. Looks like it's going to make a nice 52-week high. So during the day, what happens? Hostess goes by on my high-low list and it makes a new high. Mojo's like, I can't believe I picked that. TWNK for Twinkies. Look at it.
You almost always do small caps. What possessed you to do
I
Twinkie?
just saw the chart and I'm like, look at that, will ya? Look at that. Twinkies. So I'm like, look, Twinkies, it's going to go. It's going to go. And look what it did, dude. Look what it did. Boom.
Wow.
It's at $28, dude. I hit the biggest winner with Twinkies.
It looks like unhealthy food is back in style.
Amazing. So yeah, I hit Twinkies. And here's the newsletter on Mullen right here. Mullen. How do you say? Does it say
Mullen.
Mullen?
Mullen, it's interesting. They've got some accent over the E, which always makes us wonder how it's how you correctly say it.
Guys, it's great to be a member of the Mojo Swing newsletter. I put nice emojis down, slow and steady like a turtle. We win the race. And I'm like, dude, if you weren't at 8:29 in the morning, at 9:10, getting notified by the Mosh that AXLA was at 40 million shares with a high of 41 at 38, and they were squeezing it. Look what this one went to, an AXLA. Cha-ching! It went right here on 360 majillion shares to 51 cents. So nailed it. Next one. Let me just zoom this down. Hold a second. Mute. Okay. Now I nailed Mullen. I love it at 0.045.
We're setting the day at 58 cents.
Mullen, since 0.045 is now 05, is looking to go 06 and go higher. Current charts and the fundos with the news below. And fundos, guys, means fundamentals. Okay, if you don't know what it means. These are the fundamentals. This is the chart. And if I zoom in, look at this big green stick in the right corner. Someone has been accumulating a lot of buys. That's why the bars are green. And it hasn't moved yet. So if you look forward, maybe, David, a month or two, these people may be the smart money.
Well, they've got some advantages. For starters, they had their first electric truck roll off the assembly line from their plant in Tunica a week or so ago. They're starting to get orders for those electric trucks. They've bought a whole bunch of cheap bankrupt assets from a couple of companies that, in comparison to say somebody like Lucid, their cost per vehicle is much cheaper, simply because they've acquired facilities and assets at a much lower cost. So, I mean, I think there's just tremendous upside to this company. They're just now getting started on where they're going to really have revenue.
Did you read any of this article from the CEO sent a letter to the shareholders?
I did.
Okay,
I
good.
did.
Good. That was a good article, guys. You should definitely check that out. And
They also had
well,
news.
good news. Oh, what are they going to do? A split. They're going to split
What?
shares again to regain NASDAQ compliance. So let me show you something like AMC. AMC, you guys know, was like a $60 stock. It fell to 10. Then it fell to 5. Then it fell to, well, it was right here at 5. Then it fell to 4. Then it fell to a 2. And everyone like Mullen was writing letters to the CEO. I'm getting killed. What's going on with the stock? Help, help, help. And they did this move where they moved the stock to 16 to regain compliant, whatever. They could do that with Mullen. And then it came all the way down. People sold the crap out of it, got taken out. And now look at it today. Back up at 13, regaining its composure. So if this was in the $5 range for Mullen, which we say it's at 58, it could be $5.83 right now. This would be something really nice that mutual funds and hedge funds could then look at. These are the 3 lines I drew. This is 290, the top of that bar, Dave. The middle, the top of this green bar and this green bar is $1.60. And then this one right here is $1.02. So it has to go through $1.02, then $1.60, then $2.90. And on a split basis, that would be $29, $16, $10, and it's at $5.80 if they did that kind of split. And it worked. Who knows if it's going to work or not? But these are the lines.
Mullen just yesterday bought back 2 million shares of its common stock. You know, their stock is cheap, so, and they
If
have
I was
cash, so
short,
they're
I'd be
buying it
worried
back.
about that. If I was short naked, I'd be worried about that.
You'd think they're only authorized to buy back. I think they've got. Let me see. As of today, they've repurchased $5.6 million of its shares. And that's part of the defense against the short sale tactics that have been going on. If they were to buy back enough of them, it forces all the short sale people to,
cover.
yeah, they have to cover, and that puts them in a bad spot. That's what happened. Was it AMC that happened with?
Yes.
That and
And
they
GME when they did a short
Yeah,
squeeze
and
and it went to
GME.
$60. And
Yeah,
GME went to $300 or $400.
yeah. So, anyways, I just thought that was kind of interesting, and I
Yeah.
don't, I don't know anybody at Mullen. I'd like to interview the CEO at some point. I've also looked at possibly doing some interviews of some unhappy stockholders, and just seeing, what their thoughts are, what they would do
Yeah.
different,
If
because
any of you
it's
guys are out there, put some comments down in the show. We'll bring you aboard. We'll listen to your rage, your ranting and your raging. Let's hear it.
no, I'm happy to hear dissenting opinions and see,
Absolutely.
because that makes good news. Anyways, that was all we've got for today, Mike. We were just gonna talk about that. And anyways, if
Yeah,
you
let me
enjoy,
take off these captions right here. Hide. There we go. Done. That ticker.
I-
Nice.
I've got the QR code up on the top left where somebody can subscribe to your newsletter. So if
Oh,
somebody
nice.
scans that QR code, it'll take them right to the subscription for. So Mike publishes a daily newsletter on, on top stocks and stock picks, and
Yeah, let me show them my newsletter right here that I sent
sure.
out this morning. So you guys could see what you'd be getting if you'd like it. Because it takes me some time to put it together, and I think it's really cool. So here it is. It's called the Money Maker. So this was today's Money Maker right here. It gets sent out every day. It's free, guys. Your daily source for making money, trading information, tech news, and humor. This was that the Dow, S&P, NASDAQ, and everything was doing for you guys to trade stocks. Some great top news that's really important about the U.S. job market this morning and the numbers that came out and the latest job numbers and the report. You can read more right there about that. And then Bitcoin's last price is going with the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. Some big news about Bitcoin right there, and some read more about that. And then you guys that trade the futures, there's all your E-minis, your NASDAQ, your silver, your gold, all your great futures markets. A little information about my web class right there. If you guys want to learn how to build $1 million trading desk right there, there's that. And there's my comic for the day right there, riding that wave. Ken Slim. There's Motley Fool and Zach's newsletters. Mojo surfs right over them with the Ken Slim, with the Mojo Trader. Follow Pro Trader Mike's picks. And that's my comic, guys, for the day. And then you can follow me all across social media and click that QR code with your camera and you'll be taken to the page and the form to put your email address in and you'll sign up. I'll send it to you. Love to have you on the list. Yes, sir.
And we've got somebody in the YouTube comments saying that they have lost over $90,000 on Mullen. Most of my lifetime savings gone. And I'd love to have a conversation with him.
Yeah, he says Hob Akula. Absolutely. Just contact me on Twitter or Dave, and we'll bring you on the show, bro, and we'll speak to you. And are you still in the stock? Do you do covered call writing? Have you been renting out? What do you do to offset it? Are you just sitting there crying? We want to know. So maybe you and us, we can help so many others out there. That would be amazing. Yes, sir.
It would. All right. Well, Mike, that's all we've got time for today.
Sounds good,
I
buddy.
appreciate you being on the stream today.